There are two things that you need to take into account when starting to learn English, which are paramount and both are necessary to achieve the goal of speaking English with a high level. The first one is an important reason or motivation to learn English. When there is something in your mind that is telling you that learning English is worthwhile and that the effort and discipline are worth to learn it, then somehow your mind is going to find the motivation to continue when the things are getting difficult. Without a reason that is important enough, it is going to be so hard to be motivated to learn English, and without motivation it's going to be too complicated to get far in the language. The motivation can be obtained from something very good that is waiting for you after learning English, or also because something very difficult is happening to you in your life. It's amazing, but the problems and desperation for not being able to resolve them can be a great motivator to achieve amazing things. The second thing that is necessary is the means to learn English. In this channel, I want to show how to utilize the current technology to learn more quickly and more effectively. So, something really important will be an internet connection and a device to visualize the content that you can download from the internet. For example, a computer, a tablet, or a smartphone. It's amazing because now it's possible to learn English only with an affordable smartphone and a basic internet connection, which doesn't have to be the fastest. It's enough a speed of 1 megabits per second. Well, this is just something used to measure the internet speed. For instance, in my country, at the moment of the creation of this video, one of the companies that is offering home internet with 1 megabits per second of speed, the price is $20 or so. And I think it is an acceptable price, taking into account all the benefits that come with the internet. Regarding to the computer, tablet, or cell phone, it's enough with an affordable device able to visualize YouTube and a web browser. And this is something that already comes with all the smartphones, even the most basic ones. Of course, you will need an investment if you don't have the internet connection or the computer yet, but these things are going to be useful for a lot of other different things. Remember that internet is now the access door to world-class education. Practically, any skill that you want to master, you can learn it using an internet connection and a computer. If you already have them, you only need to define the reason why you want to learn English, and this is the most important one. Something additional that I have to mention is that cell phone companies also offer data plans, either prepaid or contract, but they are limited to a specific amount of data that you can use for download, limiting a lot of what you can do. For example, it will be difficult to use the data plan to watch videos on YouTube, because the data plan will run out in a few hours. Learning English requires a lot of effort, and the faster you want to learn it, the bigger the effort. So, to believe that all the effort is not only excessive work, you have to start defining the reason why you want to learn the language. To start defining the reason why you want to learn English, ask yourself the following questions. What problems are going to be resolved in my life if I learn English? What things are going to get better in my life if I learn English? It's necessary to ask to yourself as many questions as possible to define that meaningful reason to learn English, but I think that these are the more important ones. All of us have different motives, but at the end, the only thing that the skill of speaking English is going to make with our life is to improve it, either with a new and better job or learning new skills that are difficult to learn only with Spanish resources or in your native language. Now, it's not necessary to have clear from the beginning the most important reason to learn English, because these will appear along the learning process. As you learn, you will realize about all the benefits that you will have when you are bilingual. Once you have a very good idea why you want to learn English, you need to start defining the time that you are going to invest to learn English. The faster you want to learn, the better the time administration has to be to learn it. Something very important that you have to take into consideration is that the time to learn a new language is not measured in years, nor months, nor weeks, and nor days. That time is measured in hours or even minutes. Yes, I said hours and minutes. For example, someone can say that during 3 years has been learning English, and even so, he's not able to speak it. And I have to confess that this was exactly what happened to me. During 3 years, I was attending a course on Saturdays, But the only day that I studied was the day of the course, during the 4 hours that I was studying, and I was hardly paying attention to what the teacher was explaining to a big group of 50 students. During those years, we were using 7 workbooks, and I only completed at 3% of the exercises. All the rest was left in blank. 3 years, and I did nothing. I just attended a course that I couldn't use to learn how to speak in English. Some years later, a situation of desperation came to my life, and I ended up in a point in my life where I had to learn English in a period of 3 months, or the things were going to get really bad. The most incredible thing was that I took the 7 workbooks that I didn't use, and in a period of 2 months, I had completed all the exercises, dedicating at least 8 hours per day. All of them. I couldn't believe it. The last month was to prepare the objective in English that I needed to reach. Every one of us can start to learn an additional language at any time we decided, but we are never going to stop to learn it. It is like our native language. With every new experience in our lives, we learn new words or different ways to refer to the things. We never learn a language the 100%, but it is possible to define clear objectives to reach certain goals when learning a new language. For example, being able to hold a conversation with a person about a specific topic, or being able to give a presentation about the results in your job, or being able to close a sale of one product to a potential customer, or being able to speak fluently in a job interview. Defining objectives like this will allow you to make a list of the possible questions that you are going to be asked, possible objections, doubts, concerns, and worries. Now, when making your list of questions, you can also prepare your answers to handle them in the best possible way. This can be done at the beginning in Spanish or in your native language, and then you can translate it to English. If you don't know what questions could appear in a job interview, you only have to make a search in Google. For example, the most common questions in a job interview, and you will see in the search results a lot of websites with these kind of questions, with their respective answers which you can utilize. Once you have your list of questions, you also have the vocabulary that you have to study to be prepared. To learn the vocabulary, it's possible to use the online dictionaries to hear the pronunciation, and also you will find some examples of how to use the word in some sentences. If someone wants to learn English, the faster he wants to learn it, the bigger the effort is going to be. Here is when it is necessary to develop new habits of self-motivation and self-discipline to be able to self-educate. And now you have to begin to think like successful language learners. So, I see you in the next video that is going to be a little different because I am going to make a review of Steve Kaufman's channel, one of the polyglots that I mentioned in the previous video. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. See you soon.